Hello. Title IX has been a law for more than 50 years, but what impact is it having on equity for women in education, including sports? That's the topic of an upcoming community discussion. We'll have a preview. And looking ahead to the holidays and the annual celebration of Billy Strayhorn and Gene Kelly. We'll talk to this year's Sweet Life headliner. Plus, August Wilson's The Piano Lesson moves from the stage to the big screen. We'll talk to two people involved with the film, hint, last name, Washington. So pull up a chair and meet us at the corner. Intersection starts right now. Hello, I'm Lisa Smith, the Director of Community Impact at KDKA Plus and the host of Intersections. You may have noticed that fans are watching women play basketball and other sports in record numbers. More than 50 years after the passage of Title IX, the law passed in 1972 outlawed sex discrimination in education and any entity receiving federal funds. Many credit the law with also increasing equity for women in school sports, giving them the launch pad needed to move into professional sports. So what is the status of the law and its application? Joining me now are Dr. Karen Hall. She is the host of this year's Pittsburgh Title IX celebration and discussion. She is also a former college basketball player, coach, and now television color analyst for college women's basketball. Mashaya Hairston is a grad student at La Roche University and former college basketball player. And Amy Schudeman, former WPIAL executive director and now youth program director of P3R. Thank you, ladies, for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So, you know, Karen, Dr. Hall, when we talk about Title IX, you know, a lot of people just really kind of think about the sports aspect, and that's really what you guys are talking about. So where are we in terms of how it is being applied, and has equity been achieved?
Great question, Lisa, but again, thank you for having us. First off, as the Title IX is an educational law, so it started out where women were not permitted to advance in the educational space, and it filtered into the athletic space, which we occupy. So today, equity happens because we have women coaching on the men's side and on the administrative side of men's professional and collegiate athletics. And we also have our professional women's leagues that have started. The soccer league, which is happening here in Pittsburgh, right here at home. We have the WNBA. So it has allowed equity to happen. We still have ways to go.
Yeah. Where are some of the areas where you think there's more that can be done?
I think on the opportunity side, I mean, I just mentioned some things that have happened for us, but it's still not, I'll say, enough. We have one in different spaces and places, but they have to do the best job they can for another to follow, both on the sex part of it and on the racial side as well. So we've made strides, but we need more than one to show up. We need the opportunity. Economically speaking, we still have men holding the purse strings. And we need to shift that as well for Title IX to really take the next step.
Yeah. Mashaya, you played basketball, I believe?
Yes.
Yeah, so tell us, what did you see, you know, when you were an athlete playing college sports, and what did you want to see? Was there more that you wanted to see?
I think from my aspect, I think I've seen like a lot, especially within the program that I was in. It was a very great program led by Coach Cam. It was really a phenomenal program to help me get through college while also playing basketball. I think that I definitely saw a lot of like more support within the men's side. I think that the women's sport are starting to get a lot more attention, which is very great. But I think that more of the support side is what I would like to see more of.
Yeah. Amy, you know, you were an athletic director, executive director for WPIAL. What does it take to kind of rise through, you know, the different levels you have to go through to get into that management level in sports?
Again, I've seen it from the high school level and at the collegiate level. So I think from a Title IX perspective, we have come a long way from when I was a high school athlete in the 90s to where they are now. You know, as an athletic director, I always treated the men and women's teams the same. It was, if they're getting this amount for the uniform, so is this. If we're having field time, they're equal access. So as I went through, I always had that mentality, and as I was in my professional career, I treated myself as one of the guys, right? So it's always about you belong in that room just the same, so we're gonna fight and do what we can. And sort of to speak to your point about, you know, where else can we go? We've seen some developments with the professional sports, and we need to continue to see women in administrative roles in sports leagues.
Yeah. I was talking to Dr. Hall recently, and you were mentioning that in the WNBA, we recently saw a number of coaches fired.
Yeah.
How do you continue a pipeline of coaches when, you know,
Yeah, well,
there's a firing line to the
right.
line,
Okay, so it is a business, right? So it's all about putting people in the stands, you know, the wins and losses. However, you have to give women opportunity of longevity. You can't go 3 years and then the revolving doors begins, or else you never develop consistency. So since we've spoken, we're down to 5 open positions still remaining in the WNBA. Those 2 positions that were filled, one was filled by a woman, one was filled by a man. So we lost another position, and not saying that men aren't qualified, because they are. We women need opportunities to get to that level of management of administration.
Yeah, we're almost out of time, but I do want to try to hit 30 seconds on NIL. When it comes to women and NIL, what does that look like? I know there's a pot of money on the table right now to be spread amongst a number of colleges. What are your thoughts?
I think that it's a great thing. Me being at a Division III school, I didn't really have the opportunity to get that. They just opened that up to us last year, I believe. So while everyone else was kind of getting it, I'm like standing there like, oh, okay, like waiting for my turn. So I think that it's great, and I think that it's going to keep pushing forward with that.
Well, this conversation is obviously going to continue. Dr. Hall, give us some of the details of where this is going to be and how people can attend.
Sure, and we're excited about next Thursday. That's November 14th at 10 a.m. to noon at the Schilling Park Ice Rink. This is the 3rd annual, another opportunity to raise awareness to the Pittsburgh community. So we appreciate the Mayor's Office and the Department of Parks and Recreation for sharing and blazing the vision for the Title IX, as we say now, building a brighter future.
Yeah, building a brighter future. Quick answer, yes or no. Is the future bright?
Yes.
Bright.
Yes.
Bright.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you all so much for being with us and sharing this information. And it's definitely an interesting discussion, and look forward to hearing more.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, coming up, we're talking about the sweet life at the Kelly Strayhorn Theater this year with a Latin flavor. Intersections. We'll be right back. Well, in Pittsburgh, Thanksgiving weekend means more than Black Friday shopping and eating leftovers. It also means the Sweet Life, a celebration of Billy Strayhorn and Gene Kelly. It's an annual hot ticket event at the Kelly Strayhorn Theater, and we're talking to a couple of people who are playing major roles in this year's event. Erica Turner is a business owner, Kelly Strayhorn Theater board member, and this year's event's co-chair, along with Hugo Cruz, composer, percussionist, and this year's music director. Welcome both of you to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
So this is such a huge event, you know, every year. It's like 16 years now,
16 years,
Erica.
yep.
So tell us a little bit about, you know, why people want to be at the Sweet Life every year.
I think people, I know that people should be there every year because of the creativity and the innovation that Kelly Strayhorn puts into the event every year. And not only that, it supports the spring season. So you get to have good entertainment while also supporting a community theater.
Yeah. And then, you know, you're on the board, you're co-chairing this year. What is the vibe, I guess, that you want people to experience this year?
I think we're going to have a whole lot of fun. I'm really excited what Hugo has produced. We have some activations with flowers and screen prints. I'm doing some signature cocktails and mocktails of, what am I doing? Pear ginger, mule as a cocktail, and a pomegranate margarita as a mocktail. So, you know, it's just gonna be a good time and exciting. There's a VIP session that you can get, and then, you know, the open time.
Yeah. So you're the headliner.
Oh.
So tell us a little bit about, you know, your music, your inspiration.
Yeah. So first, I want to say, you know, thank you so much to the Kelly Strayhorn Theater for having me. I think it's the first time that foreign artists is doing this very special concert. The Kelly Strayhorn, they've been doing this Sweet Life concert for over 16 years, and that's like, you know, we should be really proud, or people in Pittsburgh should be proud of these two legends, you know, Billy Strayhorn and Gene Kelly. In this opportunity, I'm gonna be doing some arrangements for the music that Billy wrote and that Gene Kelly defend in some of the Cuban most popular style of music. They are pilón, danzón, cha-cha-cha, and you know, we wanna have an amazing night. We want people to dance, and we wanna have really a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're from Cuba.
I'm from Cuba.
And so you're going to infuse some of that into the music.
Definitely. So I'm from this place in Cuba called Santa Clara, and we do have a lot of culture and music, and I'm also trying to do a good connection between Santa Clara and Pittsburgh, you know. So I wanted to mention that there is a Pittsburgh City sister in Cuba called Matanzas. And Matanzas is the city that brought alive this beautiful style of music called danzón. And there is this beautiful composition by Billy Strayhorn called Isfahan, and I'm doing it into a danzón style of music. And there is a connection between Matanzas, they created the place where danzón was born, and Pittsburgh. They're city sisters.
Oh, wow. No, okay, so you were telling me earlier that you're going to do some of their classics, Billy Strayhorn's classics and Gene Kelly's classics, but you're rearranging it.
Yes.
And you're basically a percussionist,
Yes.
but you said you use the piano to create the
Yes.
arrangements. So tell me a little bit about, like, how many instruments do you play, and how do you do that? How do you transfer something that's musically for piano to percussion?
Exactly. So percussion is an instrument that sings. It's an instrument that plays melody, just like the piano. But because I went to the university in Cuba for music, I had to take harmonic, solfege, and piano lessons too, you know, to be able to understand chords and melodies. So I'm a percussionist, but I try to approach the music more as a musician than a percussionist.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm really excited to share this with all the audience, and I really want to see how they respond to something that is new and unique.
Yeah, and then you also have your band, the Caminos, and then you have some vocalists as well, right?
Yes. We are gonna have some of the finest in Pittsburgh and in the entire world. We're gonna have Chantal Joseph, she's gonna be singing. We're gonna have Mike Tometto playing saxophone. We're gonna have Joe Sheehan playing piano and keyboard. Brian Stahersky is going to be playing electric and opera bass. And my dear friend, my brother, all the way from Cuba, he's gonna be playing percussion with me. His name is Degnis Bofil.
Oh, wow.
You know, and I really hope nobody missed this beautiful concert. Sweet Life. Sweet Life. You don't want to miss it. Pittsburgh family, you don't want to miss it.
And then Erica, tell us a little bit about just, you know, all the planning that goes into it, and then, you know, the details of when it is, how people can attend.
Sure. It is November 30th, Thanksgiving weekend. They can go on our website and purchase tickets. Tickets are selling fast, so, you know, we want to get those tickets in. The program, the Kelly Strayhorn staff does immense work in putting these shows together. And so, you know, as a board, we're here to support them. And then as a community, they're there to, to support as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I know also that you guys have that pay as you pay what you can.
Pay what you can. Yes, you can pay what you can. Pay what moves you.
Yes.
Right. And Hugo is going to have us moving that evening. So it ranges from 30. I think for VIP is 100 to 200, and then for general admission it is 35 to 65.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for being with us, and much success with this year's Sweet Life.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, coming up, the sons of Denzel Washington discuss their roles in the production of August Wilson's The Piano Lesson. Intersections. We'll be right back. One of August Wilson's Pulitzer Prize-winning works is hitting the silver screen. The Piano Lesson, which was on Broadway last year and nominated for 2 Tony Awards, is now a movie. The director is Malcolm Washington, and John David Washington stars as Boy Willie. Of course, the Washington brothers are the sons of actor Denzel Washington. KDKA's Daisy J talked to the brothers about the film and the work of August Wilson.
I'm here with John David Washington, who is one of the stars of The Piano Lesson, the film adaptation of August Wilson's famous play. And this is so exciting because you were also reprising your role from the Broadway version. So how difficult of that is that, you obviously know all your lines from a stage show to transform it into the big screen?
It was surprisingly quite a huge challenge. I thought I was going to take some of the challenging parts out of it because I've already done it on Broadway, and it would be easier because I already know the lines, but it was almost like I had to relearn the play because it's a different medium for one, but also the story we were telling, we're obviously honoring August Wilson and the work and the story itself, but we're telling it in a new way, in a cinematic way. They say the term is opening it up, and some people don't like that term, but I love it because that's exactly what we're doing. So I understand I had different responsibilities with the film that I did in the play.
You feel that? That's your family.
You were Bo Willie. You had your own agenda regarding the piano.
Yes, he did. Not me, but he did.
Yeah,
No, I know what you mean.
But I thought it was so fascinating how, of course, you came in there kind of like a bull charging, ready with your own agenda, and then there was such a nice shift in your persona when you kind of realized the magnitude of what this piano meant to the family.
The tonality of this film was very important to me, and I was able to crack some of that, or at least figure to map it out emotionally through behavior. I got to really focus on behavior, which in turn gave me answers on how to act and how to move and how to react, I should say, to my fellow actors, to my castmates. So that transition you see, I think he's relinquishing some of his guilt, that he turned up to Pittsburgh with, some of the remorse he had for what happened to his sister's late husband. I think all those things, those kinds he had to reconcile with. He was in Parchment Farm, for 3+ years, and so I think a lot of that was, and he succumbed to the power of his ancestry with that big fight at the end with the ghost. So I think he had to, at least respect it more. And I think moving forward, I'd be curious to know what happened to him.
Why do you think this story, just August Wilson's story in general, resonates with even people today who are kind of, trying to figure out who they are and relate it to their past and where they came from?
Well, at least from the Boy Willie's character, but I think all his characters are dealing with the identity and who they are and their station in the world, whether it's, young blood, or whether it's, Troy Maxon, whether, it's Boy Willie, just talking about who they are as people and the kind of people they're trying to be. And I mean, August, obviously in his brilliance, really tries to, or he's done, express the African-American experience. And he put it on stage, and he put it, for the accessibility of it, I think makes it so relatable. So it's not just a specific towards, the African-American experience, but I think the familial experience. Everybody has an uncle or an auntie like that, or a sister or a brother like that. They can relate to some of these dynamics. And I mean, and it's crafted so beautifully by Mr. Wilson. I think that's what's very exciting about his work and being able to perform it.
What do you hope that people walk away from this film?
Yeah, I hope that people confront parts of their history and engage in it in a way so that they can understand more about themselves and make decisions about their future with that, informed decisions about their future based on what they've learned from the past.
Yeah, because it definitely resonates with people. I mean, generations obviously ago, but even today, of just wanting to know who their people are.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? Like where they came from.
Where you come from.
Yeah.
It's important. It's important, and you can make decisions from that place, you know.
Yeah. So we obviously have to talk about now your dad. You know, is Denzel Washington. He was one of the producers. Did you feel pressure? Did he support you in a way?
He was very supportive,
Yeah.
but there was pressure in the sense that he has great reverence for August Wilson, all that he represents.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of his legacy and working to support this house, where we are, the August Wilson House, as well as getting his plays to the screen. So this was the latest and a long line of work that he's hoping to get adapted.
Now, are you going to be directing any of the upcoming ones that you know of?
You know, there's a wonderful thing that's happened so far where each play has gotten a different film director to make the movie, and their voices have brought something different to each of them. So I hope that continues, and there's varied voices of age and gender and all these things to bring different stories to this.
Yeah, you even had to bring your own background, your own experience.
Exactly.
It's very exciting.
All of that, yeah.
Yeah, well, again, congratulations on the film. It was so beautiful.
Thank
and I'm
you.
excited that, you know, families can check it out. It opens out the week before Thanksgiving, and so I hope that people will get to go see it and be able to spend time with their families.
Thank you so much.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
The Piano Lesson is in theaters right now and will be available on Netflix just ahead of Thanksgiving. And I'll have my last word when we come back. Can you believe it? Thanksgiving is 3 weeks away, and we are in the final few weeks of our 43rd annual KDKA TV Turkey Fund. And once again, we're asking for your help to make sure our neighbors in need have a warm meal this Thanksgiving. Here are all the ways that you can donate, and from all of us at KDKA, thank you. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Intersections.